Hi, how's it going? It's Charles Botenston. I'm back here in New York City. Today we're going to be going over a book that I'm very fascinated actually recently, that you can create wealth. In other words, a lot of people work for somebody like an employer, and they may have a side job or a side business, or maybe have some kind of passive income like an income producing property or like a car wash or a restaurant or something like that. However, there are a lot of books now, and there's a lot behind me. One of them, which is by Bob Proctor, known as You Were Born Rich, and that is somewhere around here. There's also a lot of other wealth books. One of them, which is Millionaire Mind, The Mindset of a Millionaire by T. Harv Eker. This one is 10 distinctions between the middle class, or millionaires and the middle class. So I picked it up. It was very, it was a small book, quick read, and it was very basic. I think I'm at a level right now where I understand the basic principles, especially on this title, Between the Middle Class and the Millionaires. I grew up in the middle class, and if you were starting out and you didn't know about John Kehoe, he wrote a book called Mindset. It's up here somewhere. Where is he? Mind Power, and he also wrote Quantum Warrior. So it's pretty much just thinking yourself into riches, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's woo-woo. But in this book, there's 10 distinctions that the author Keith Smith brings up, and they're very basic. I'll go over all of them, and really I didn't get much out of it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I give it 4 because if you haven't read a book about becoming a millionaire, becoming wealthy, becoming financially free, then this is a good book to start with. If you've already crushed all the other books about Born Rich by Bob Proctor, T. Harv Eker, Automatic Millionaire, which I actually just got in the mail. So he goes through the top distinctions. Number 1, millionaires think long term. This is something that, ironically enough, I've already been doing it. I don't know why I'm stuttering right now, but I always thought long term. I put a lot of money and a lot of time into education. I knew that me becoming better. There's a book out there by Jeff Olson. I think it's Jeff Olson. It's called The Slight Edge. It's kind of like Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect, where you build each day up and you just do a little bit better each day. Yes, you could do a quantum leap, but if you're just a little bit better every single day, over a week, over a month, over a year, you'll see yourself going like this when most people go like this. So, got to think long term. Millionaires think about ideas instead of talk about other people and things. This is very important. This is something that I started doing as well, because drama, talking about it, the Kardashians, there's no TV in my apartment, and I haven't had a TV in 4 years. It's, as I forgot who it was, said a TV is an income. I think it was it Tony Robbins? He said a TV is an income sucker. It's just sucking the income out of you because you're watching TV instead of making money. Millionaires embrace change. Middle class are threatened by change. That's very interesting. And I could see that millionaires probably embrace good change. Bad change, which is new laws by the government or new tax laws by the IRS, which is also the government. I could see that. Millionaires take calculated risks. This is something that I definitely fall into. I love taking risks. I love really pushing the envelope. The middle class is afraid to take risks. Distinction number 6, and it goes downwards from the most important to the least important. Millionaires think about profits. Middle class think about wages. This is super important. This is really what flipped me upside down in 2009. I didn't read this in 2009, but that was the mindset, is that I have a ceiling of what I can make at my 9 to 5, which was Oppenheimer funds. At Oppenheimer funds, I was making a certain amount of money. I had to wait another couple of years to be promoted, and then another couple of years to be promoted, and it just doesn't make sense. Here's the next distinction. Millionaires believe they must be generous. The middle class believes they can't afford to give. Wow, that's as powerful as it can get. I'm very generous. I'm very generous at tipping because I've been a waiter. I was a caddy at a golf course. I was another waiter at another place. I sold pots and pans. Actually, I'm sorry, I sold Cutco knives. My brother sold pots and pans. Any job that was in sales, commission-based, tip-based, I was in. And I was a landscaper. I was a lawn mower. So I always want to give back. And someone actually just recently said this, that they would rather give their money generously to people that they tip to. Hotel staff, bartenders, servers, bellhops, anyone that needs, or coat check people, whatever it is, they love tipping. Tipping is their way to give back because it's giving back to people. It's not giving back to the government. Millionaires have multiple sources of income. This is something that I just discovered. Passive income is something that I say to myself, you have passive income. I currently don't have passive income, but I'm convincing myself that I do. The middle class only has one or two sources of income. That's very important. Passive income, whether it's book sales, whether it's, mine is going to be through books. And I see that as massively important. You put out a product, and there's another story, I think it was also Tony Robbins, where he said he was at a ski slope with a billionaire. And the billionaire asked him, he said, Tony he didn't want to go. Because Tony said that while he was there, he wasn't able to teach and make money. And the billionaire said, as he's taking the lift up to the top of the mountain to go skiing, he says, each second that passes, I'm making more and more money. And Tony says, what are you talking about? He says, you have to make a business that earns you income when you sleep or when you're at play on a ski slope. So it's super important. Millionaires focus on increasing their net worth. This is also really new to me. I now focus on my net worth and not on my paycheck. And I don't get a paycheck anyway, but even if I did. Millionaires ask themselves empowering questions. This is super important. I now ask myself when I wake up, why is today going to be so great? What about today is going to be incredible? How can I see myself making today, I go a little ridiculous, but I always say, how do I make today, I'm the master. How do I make today they listen to me? They as in the day, every single minute I have to create it, or I create it, and I know that. So I say, how can I master each day? What about today is going to be incredible? How am I going to reach all my goals? It's super important. And then obviously the flip side of that is that the middle class ask themselves disempowering questions like, why does this suck? Why did this happen to me? Why does life, life is going to give you what you ask of it. That's as simple as it gets. But I give it a 4 out of 5. It's a good starting book, The Distinctions Between the Millionaires and the Middle Class by Keith Cameron Smith. And obviously, if you have any books that you want me to read, the next one that I'm going to be reviewing is The Power of Habit, which is absolutely incredible. It's obviously clearly a bestseller before I even picked it up. And 4.5 out of 5 stars out of 3,500 reviews on Amazon. So it's clearly an amazing book. But anyway, subscribe to the video. Follow me on Instagram. Those are my 2 favorite social media networks. And go to iCharles.com. That's my website. And obviously, if you have any books for me to review or to read, send it over, and I'm happy to do it. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.